Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru-paramparam Vande Guru-paramparam. Hari Om, thank you for inviting me to this session, and I have been asked to speak on yoga. So we'll take Patanjali Yoga Sutra, that is the basis, isn't it? So we'll see what does Patanjali Yoga Sutra say. But before we get into Patanjali Yoga Sutra, what does a human being want in life? What does he want in life? Peace. P-I-E-C-E. You have to be careful. P-E-A-C. Okay. Peace. So what else does he want? Happiness. What does he not want? So this, what you just, two things you said, that is told in our scriptures as dukkha nivritti, removal of miseries, removal of grief, and sukha prapti, or another word for that, a bit hi-fi, nirankusha trupti. Trupti means contentment, satisfaction. Nirankusha means causeless, without any cause. So, are we getting causeless happiness, or are we getting, like in the afternoon, the lady at Bhavesh's place, yesterday I had 3 times idli. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Not breakfast and lunch. So at the Delhi airport, I got there at 5 o'clock. So I was hungry, I had idli, vada. Then in the plane, idli. Then I came home, again idli. So I told her, I am not eating idli if you make it again. So she made aloo gobi ki sabji and roti, fresh fulka from the tawa, and dal and chawal. Ekdam maja aa gaya. And then I was about to sleep, Vishnu came, time to go. So that one is temporary happiness, isn't it? So it's caused. Because I ate food, therefore I was happy. Because I got chapati, therefore I am happy. Because I got married, therefore I am happy. Because I have children, therefore I am happy. Because I am studying scriptures, therefore I am happy. Because I meditate, therefore I am happy. Because I do yoga, therefore I am happy. This is not the happiness which the scriptures talk about. They talk about the nirankusha trupti. This word comes not in this one, it comes in Panchadashi. Dukkha nivritti, nirankusha trupti, the last 2 things that one must attain. So, if that is clear and we have understood that we need causeless happiness, how do we go about it? Tell me.
Knowing that everything, pain or pleasure, every thought is going to create pain or pleasure, and it is all mine. It's impermanent. It's not permanent.
It's not permanent. अच्छी बात है. कुछ तो बोला ना. She has the courage to say it.
It's all temporary.
It's all temporary.
But do we believe that?
Yes, you have to learn to believe.
Another important point. But do we believe that?
Yes.
Are we molding our life in such a way that we accept what you just now said and move away from it, from the temporary happiness? Are we doing it with every breath, with every action, with every thought, with every day, with every month, with every year? Are we assessing ourselves every day? That have we come closer to the causeless happiness, or are we still stuck in the cycle of cause and effect? You understand? Yesterday the topic, first topic only, karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. You have heard it hundreds of times. There also it says, do the karma, but without expectation of the phala, the result. Here also it is the same thing. Nirankushat ruptve. Without any cause. That happiness we need to discover within ourselves, as ourselves, not objectively. I had discovered you all objectively. She is so and she is so and he is so, everyone I know. But this is not objectively, this is subjective experience. And subjective experience is, tell me what is subjective experience? It's not a test, okay? So what is subjective experience?
It is what I feel personally with my experiences and perception and my own thought process.
Okay, anyone else? What is subjective experience? Anyone?
The subjective is just like for me and mine, my happiness.
My happiness.
Me and mine, no, my happiness.
Okay, me and mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a purpose.
Huh?
It's purposefully we are searching for the happiness, and it's with a
She said, huh?
thematized,
Huh?
thematized.
Theme.
Thematized.
Yeah.
Thematized. Theme is always about something.
Yeah, something subjectively.
She said it's a feeling. It's also objective. Theme is also objective. She said me and mine. Mine is also objective. Mine is my body. Body is objective. My breath. Body is objective. Breath is objective. My experiences. Experiences experienced, whatever is objective. So what is subjective experience? Here everything you have said is only about object. What is subject? Subjective experience is a thought-free experience. I'll lay down a bombshell right now and then we'll explain afterwards. And that is, I'll ask you, make two statements and you have to decide which one is the correct one. I think, therefore I am. First statement. And statement number 2, I am, therefore thinking happens. Which one is the correct one? How many for the first one? I think, therefore I am.
What is the second statement?
I am, therefore thinking happens. How many for the second one?
First one, I think.
See, this also we are not clear. कि मैं हूँ कौन? And we want to find out ourselves. We don't even know who the subject fellow, who is this subject, who is this I? Are you I as a thought, or are you I in spite of a thought? In spite of the thought I. You understand what I'll repeat it again. Are you I as a thought, or are you I in spite of a thought? Whether thought is there or not there, you are still the I. Which one is correct? In spite of the thought. Because in deep sleep there is no thought, but you still exist. That is the subject. Subject is that in whose presence The waking, dream and deep sleep come and go. That is the subject. So you are not the wake. Abhi कौन खड़ा है यहाँ पे? Who is there in front of me? All of you are waker. This is the waker girl. This is the waker. This is the waker. This waker will also go away when the sleep comes, isn't it?
Yes.
So it's temporary fellow. Dream also, the dreamer is there. He is also temporary. He or she is a temporary fellow. Sleep, that is also temporary because waking will happen after some time. But do you feel that you are temporary? Does anyone here feel they are temporary? You feel, I was there yesterday also, I am there now also, I will continue tomorrow also, I have been always from the time of birth till now, I have never been absent, isn't it? Waking, dream, sleep come and go, but you have never come and gone. That is the subject we are talking about. And that subject does not need thinking. It supports all the thinking. It supports all the mind stuff. It supports all the feelings. It supports all the opposites. It supports all the senses and the stimuli. It supports all the world. But itself, it is independent. Are we ready to take that responsibility that I am the supporter of the entire universe, of the entire creation? योगा करके क्या फायदा? Because if we are looking at spirituality, slowly, as you grow in spirituality or in your own being, your sense of responsibility that I alone am everything that there is, and other than me, other than the consciousness that I am, other than the spirit that I am, nothing exists, only I am. This abidance has to come about, and this abidance is thought free. जैसे, you know, I'll give you one or two examples and then you understand. If you understand, you're smart. If you don't understand, you know who you are. Okay? So, from sun's point of view, every morning we get up, we say, Om Bhurva Swaha Tat Saviturvarenyam, thank you for giving us the light, thank you for making my life possible, thank you for making me become successful. Without your sunlight, I wouldn't have been anyone. You are the source. What would the sun be thinking right now when you do this in the morning? He says, Bekoof. You understand Hindi? You stupid. What are you saying? I gave you light. I removed darkness. I don't know what darkness is. From sun's point of view, there is nothing called darkness. From sun's point of view, there is nothing called light also. Because that which is of the nature of light cannot know its own nature in the sense of effulgence. We know because we are separate to the sun. Similarly, this Atma, this spirit that we are, it does not know what is mind, what is the senses, what is this world. It does not know. As a witnessing consciousness, it knows that there is waking, dream, deep sleep coming and going, and samadhi also. But as consciousness, abiding in consciousness, it does not know anything except itself that I am all that there is. देखो, ज़्यादा हो गया? How is it pervading everything? इसके लिए दूसरा एग्जाम्पल लेंगे. How the sun is pervading everything, instead of sun, we'll take the example of water. How water is pervading what is everything for water, for us? Do we see water or do we see ocean and wave? We see ocean and wave. But when you touch the wave, what are you touching? You're touching water. If you're tasting the wave, what are you touching? Water. Then why are you calling it wave?
It's a process.
There's no process.
Waves is a process in
Huh?
water.
Say that.
Waves. There is a motion.
So water in motion is a wave.
Waves.
Good. But essence is
Water.
water. what a wave is made up of is water, and the maker of the wave is also water. Similarly, this whole creation, the material out of which the whole creation is made is consciousness, and the maker of this creation is consciousness. I'll give you one example and we'll enter into this. Example. This is your daily example. You all dream, or you are all too evolved yogis that you don't get dreams.
You dream.
You dream. Okay. Now tell me, in the dream, there is space, air, fire, water, earth, rivers, mountains, plants, animals, human beings. Every human being has a mind, every plant has life, every animal has life. Where does all the life that is throbbing in every person, whether it is inert or it is living, where does all this come from? Does it come from outside the mind or inside the mind?
Inside the mind.
So, mind alone is the material out of which the entire dream creation is made, and mind alone is the creator of the dream. Correct? Agree? Logical? So is true in the waking also. Except? So is true in the waking state also. Your mind created the whole creation out of the material called consciousness, and it pervaded it. That's what Ishvara does. So you are not other than Ishvara. Question is about acceptance. Question is about acceptance. Difficult to digest? A little bit.
It is.
इसीलिए प्राणायाम करते रहो,
Philosophy.
इसीलिए जप करते रहो. सी बोलते हैं ना, कुत्ते की पूंछ टेढ़ी रहती है, वो जितनी मर्जी सीधी कर लो वो टेढ़ी ही रहेगी, है कि नहीं? हमारा भी वही हाल है. व्हाट इज दैट? यू अंडरस्टैंड हिंदी? हाँ, लिटिल बिट. सो व्हाट डिड आई से? सबको हिंदी आती है?
Yeah.
So, as much as we may want to try to straighten the tail of the dog, it will never become straight. It will always remain curled. This is our story. As much as we may do yoga, as much as we may do pranayam, as much as we may study the scriptures, we may say we study Vedanta, but the tail is still crooked. And what is that crooked tail? The crooked I. That I-ness, that I have to do something, that I am an individual. This doesn't get dissolved. This is the crooked tail. This is the crooked tail. To remove this tail, not make it straight, to remove it once and for all, पूरा operation कर देना है. So that there is no wagging possible, is Patanjali Yoga Sutra. And therefore, the first verse of Patanjali Yoga Sutra says, Atha Yoga Anushasanam. You have all read that?
Yes.
What does Atha mean?
Now.
What does now mean?
And this.
Abhi.
Huh?
And
This moment.
What does that mean?
Now at present, being at the present moment.
This
What
breath.
does that mean?
This breath.
This breath, what does that mean?
Being
What does it also mean, I should add? It means that the person, the student who has come to the teacher, Patanjali, he has worked out that the answer doesn't lie in the world. He has tried everything. He has tried everything. And yes, all the Upanishads begin like this. Brahma Sutras begin with Atha. Some of the Upanishads begin with Atha. Some of the Upanishads begin with Om. These are the only two words, Atha or Om. And when you say now, Atha means now. In this moment, at present moment, in this instant. In this instant means I am, oh teacher, I am 100% available. Now please instruct me. So here when the teacher is saying atha, means he is present completely. And he's saying these are the instructions. When will a student follow the instructions? Will he follow the instructions because the teacher has given him the instructions?
When he's ready.
Okay, very good. When will he be ready? My question is next.
Willingness.
He is also in the present.
In the present, and the mind is a jnyasu mind.
Okay. Yes, okay. There is no right and wrong. So we are not here in competition with each other. So she is also right. Everyone is right, but we have to put the correct perspective forward. That's all. So what did you say?
When I surrender and I accept that I am aligned to, ready to follow, willingness and intent and surrender, complete surrender.
When will you follow? Are you married? When did you decide to get married to your husband?
When did I decide?
Is it because the parents said, or is it after looking at the photograph? I think he looks smart. Or
because
did you
my
see
father said
or did you see the bank balance? Or did you see that he was a handsome brute? Huh?
All my father said and I married.
Okay. But something must have happened in your heart after looking at that photograph. I'm not only telling her, I'm talking about you also who have a wife. Okay? So,
No, it's
The
like
student
that.
has
Say-
the
say-
desire,
say,
has the desire to learn.
desire comes afterwards. Dhyayato vishayan punsa sangasteshu upajayate. First you look at something, when you look at that thing again and again, then a desire, then attachment arises. That attachment then leads to desire. This is the third step. Desire is the third step. You were saying something?
No, इतने सारे देखे इसमें से ये अच्छा है.
कौन सा?
इतने सारे देखे इसमें से ये अच्छा है.
अच्छा ये अच्छा है.
Considering all these three points.
देखिए, see, I'll give you one example. Until and unless we have not given importance to something, until and unless we have not become convinced about something, unless and until we don't feel the need of something, Bhagavatam says, before Bhagavatam, you heard of word Bhagavatam, the scripture called Srimad Bhagavatam? So Srimad Bhagavatam, when we start studying, before comes Bhagavat Mahatmya. And in Bhagavat Mahatmya, what is told? All the greatness of Srimad Bhagavat. That how Bhagavat is great, how so many saints have studied it, how the story has come about, and when you listen to it, you feel really thrilled and you want to get involved in it, you want to imbibe it, you want to practice the techniques given in it. Exactly the same way. Until and unless in our life, atha means now, but atha also means that unless and until we have not in our heart and mind given a status of utmost importance to Patanjali Yoga Sutra, till then we will not pursue it to make it our own. To understand it, what it has to reveal. It is not that you are going to study and finish it off. This text has to reveal itself. Just like you're still discovering your husbands. You're still discovering your children. What is this fellow? I gave this birth to this Rakshas. When will he become Devta? As the child moves from childhood to teenage, suddenly he is a different person. Then into youth, into different person. And mom is continuously surprised. Parents are continuously surprised. अरे इसके अंदर ये भी पॉसिबिलिटी है, इसके अंदर ये भी पॉसिबिलिटी है कि नहीं? उसी तरह से in the Patanjali Yoga Sutra or any scripture, the scriptures have to reveal themselves. And how do scriptures reveal to you? First is the student's availability, the student's conviction in the scripture that it is a valid one, that it is coming from a great lineage. Where did it come from? Some people say from Patanjali, but Patanjali says nowhere he says that I have written it. it is coming from Hiranyagarbha or Kapil Muni Maharaj. And Kapil Muni Maharaj wrote it. Patanjali Maharaj, he only reformatted it and presented it to you in the 4 chapters that you see it today. So, Kapil Maharaj has written Hiranyagarbha. Another meaning of Hiranyagarbha is the golden womb. Hiranya, golden, Garbha means womb. So that Hiranyagarbha is the creator himself. So it has come from the creator. It must be worthy of pursuit. It must be worthy of involvement. So that, with that feeling of greatness, with that feeling that so many great masters have studied it and perfected it, therefore I must also study it and find out what is there in it which will click to me, so that I also come to be the one without a second. Kaivalya, the last chapter of the Patanjali Yoga Sutra is the Kaivalya Pad. Kaivalya Pad means, this time when I was telling yesterday, when I reached Kailash, I went to the Dirapuk, which is the north face of Kailash, and then walked 5.5 kilometers to 21,000 feet and touched Kailash. And while I am touching Kailash, the Sherpa is asking me, Swamiji, say something. I said, Hamsa Shiva Soham Soham Hamsa Shiva Sa Shiva Soham Hamsa. He said, no, say something. I didn't understand that. मैंने अपना मंत्र मार दिया. तो मैं कत्रयंबकम यजामहे सुगंध. After that he says, still I didn't understand. Say something which I can understand. So I was taking the text called Kaivalya Upanishad throughout the 18 days of our Kailash Yatra. What is the essence of Kaivalya Upanishad? The journey of life. It is the one. It is journey of the one, by the one, in the one, to the one, for ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. This, in the beginning of the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, you will not be able to understand. But by the time you come to the 4th chapter, you start, अरे यार, सभी कुछ निकाल लिया मेरे से, अब मैं बचा ही नहीं. But it's not that I am not left. I am still conscious. And that consciousness is that one alone. Addressing this, Patanjali Yoga Sutra tells, actually speaking, Patanjali Yoga Sutra, this Patanjali Yoga Darshan, in the first 3 verses, everything is over. Rest of you know how many verses are there in it? 572, 74, something like that. You know? कहीं पे तो है. You don't remember?
Patanjali Yoga Sutra?
हाँ जी.
In Kaivalya Upanishad.
नहीं केवल में तो 24 है. इसमें I don't remember how many. So it comes to about 572 verses or 73 verses. Okay. What I am saying to you is, in the first 3 verses, the entire Patanjali Yoga Sutra is over if you understand. So what is yoga? Here he says, these are the instructions of yoga. What is the first instruction? Yoga chitta vritti nirodha iti yoga. How do you do chitta vritti nirodha? Drugs? Alcohol? Valid reason. There people do it. Aghoris do it. No, that is third. We are stuck on second right now. Don't jump. I am talking about how do you bring chitta vritti nirodha. Do you do it by drugs? Do you do it by spirituality, means spirit? Johnny Walker, keep walking. Do you do it by pranayam? Can you bring about chitta vritti nirodha by twisting your body? Our Swamiji says. So our Swamiji says, don't twist your body, straighten your mind. So by yoga it's not possible. By breath is it possible? to bring about chitta vritti nirodha?
Yes.
Yes.
How? Tell me.
This is the way to.
Chale baate chale chitte.
Huh?
Chale baate chale chitte. You control your breath and your thought gets controlled. When there is no thought.
Theoretically, very nice.
No, it is a very
Keval
tough.
kumbhak.
Keval kumbhak, yes.
Yes, keval kumbhak.
Okay.
Shunya can keval kumbhak.
Okay. So you have controlled the breath.
That is the part.
You have invoked the kumbhak. It will go away also.
Yes.
So how will we reach Kevala? Kevala is a continuous state. It is not a temporary one.
Yeah.
Remember, in the beginning of the talk, I told you, you are the continuous one. You are not a temporary one. Waker is temporary, dreamer is temporary, sleeper is temporary. But the one in whose presence these roles are coming and going is the permanent one. That is Kevala. So by Kumbhak, are you going to reach Kevala? Because the moment you give up on Kumbhak, world is back again.
That is state.
Aye.
Keval kumbhak is state.
Aye?
It is state.
State.
Not
It's a state. Correct,
It
correct,
is not
correct,
process.
correct,
It
correct,
is
correct.
not process.
It is not a
Process. Continuous.
It's not possible to continuously have.
No. It's a temporary.
you can. I'll give you example. Jnaneshwar Maharaj. I'll give you another example. Raghavendra Swami. They are in hibernation. Jnaneshwar Maharaj, 780 years now, he's still in samadhi.
Right.
If he's breathing, he cannot be in samadhi. 780 years. Little bit less, I think 400 years is Raghavendra Swami. They are still alive. Because after 300 years of samadhi, Eknath Maharaj ka naam suna hai?
Yes.
Yes.
Eknath Maharaj, who went all the way to Afghanistan, Iran, and in the Guru Granth Sahib, lot of his Vani is written. Eknath Bhagwat is also there. That Eknath Maharaj, he had accepted Jnaneshwar Maharaj as his Guru. And in his dream, Jnaneshwar Maharaj came and said, "Hey, Eknatha, come here on the banks of the Indrayani river, and under this tree I am sitting, and the roots of the tree are strangling me. Come, help me out." He went there. Just no doubt, just followed, found his master. ओ मेरे को तो गुरु मिल गए, मेरे को तो गुरु मिल गए, अब मैं मंदिर बनाऊंगा। भगवान ज्ञानेश्वर ने कहा चुपचाप सिर्फ कट द रूट्स and close the whole thing again and quietly go away. But today, if you go to Alandi, where the temple is, 30-40 feet below, Jnaneshwar Maharaj is still sitting. You can't see him, but we have been to the wall. अभी तो जाने नहीं देते. With Swamiji, I went the first time.
Where is it?
In 21 kilometers from Pune. Go there if you get a chance. Absolutely fantastic vibrations. अपने आप कुंडलिनी जागृत हो जाएगी, कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है। ऐसी जगह है, ऐसी जगह हैं, आपने सुना भी नहीं, देखो। तो देर आर many mystical places which we have not come across. तो जब संत महात्मा सन्यासी घूमते हैं तो ये ऐसी चीज़ें बताते रहते हैं, और आपको अब मिल गई एक जगह जाने की। जब इंडिया जाओगे, गो एंड विजिट।
We have read in the history, but we don't know the place.
हाँ,
Very
it's
close to
21 kilometers from Pune. हाँ, तो आळंदी. So what I am saying here is Kumbhak can be had according to yoga and some Mahatmas. If you remain in samadhi for 21 days, you don't come back to your body. You don't come back to your body. So we are talking about chitta vritti nirodha. When we talk about nirodha, there are 5 types of conditions of mind. You all, maybe you have heard of it. If you have not heard of it, here you can now listen to it. First type of condition of mind is kshipta. What is kshipta mind? Restless mind, agitated mind is kshipta mana. This is the first condition of mind, which we can find ourselves every now and then when there is a reaction. Second is vikshipta mana. Vikshipta mana is second. Sorry, I'll start from again. First is moodha mana. Moodha is a dull mind. You know what I said just now? नहीं समझ आया. डल, कुछ भी समझ नहीं आता. 1 + 1 I don't know. 2 + 2 I don't know. Nothing clicks to this mind. Why? Very, very tamasic. When little bit of rajas comes up, it's rajas overpowered by tamas is kshipta. Kshipta is not distracted. What did I say? Agitated and restless mind. Third is vikshipta. Vikshipta is distracted mind. Majority of us are sometimes exhibiting moodha mana, sometimes exhibiting kshipta mana, majority of the times vikshipta mana. Majority of the times. Khana khate, we are eating food and watching TV, vikshipta mana. We are listening to the lecture and thinking, I hope there is no traffic when I go back home, vikshipta mana. This was third, vikshipta. Fourth, we'll keep it aside, we'll come back to it. Fifth condition of mind, niruddha mana. Chitta vritti nirodha. Niruddha mana. Niruddha mana means zero mind. All these four, first, second, third and fifth, moodha mana, kshipta mana, vikshipta mana and niruddha mana are not conducive for practice, are not conducive for realization, are not conducive for sadhana. One is too tamasic, another one is too rajasic, third one is too distracted, the fourth one is absolutely empty. क्या करोगे empty mind में? So what is the fourth one then? You know? Ekagra mana. Ekagra mana means single pointed mind. This is the mind that we have to develop. This is the basic requirement. So when here he says chitta vritti nirodha iti yogaha, yes, you can make your mind empty by any means, but don't keep it empty. Even in your Ashtanga Yoga, when you reach Pratyahar, your mind is empty. Your senses may be open, but still the mind is not ready to go out of the senses. It's empty. No thoughts are coming. No thoughts are bubbling inside. But if you leave it like that, either you will go mad, or whatever the next thought enters into the mind, you will get carried. The entire energy of the mind will be hijacked by that particular thought. कभी गांजा खाया भी तो तुम लोगों ने? Anytime you have taken ganja? So when you take ganja, if I am laughing, I'll keep laughing after taking ganja. If I am crying and I take ganja, and just before its effect sets in, if I am crying, I'll continue crying for next 1 or 2 hours. If I am speaking incoherently, I'll keep speaking incoherently for next 2 hours. Experiment करने पड़ते हैं सिर्फ. I'm not taking injections and all that, but this is harmless. Cannabis is harmless. Abhi when we crossed the border of Tibet, the cannabis plant is 5 leaves. उसको 5 पत्ती बोलते हैं. Growing in abundance everywhere. Quickly we took, rubbed. सबके सब खुश.
No, we have homeopathic medicine of cannabis.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Now,
that is
now
something I know.
Western medicine has just discovered it few years ago. Till now they were banning it. Now they are trying to
But
bring
it's
it
banned here in
mainstream.
UAE
Now
can't
they are
ban
bringing it
So many
mainstream for majority of the painkillers which have side effects. Cannabis has no side effect, and yet the pain is brought under control. तो अभी हो रहा है धीरे धीरे. Anyway, that was part of our journey right now. So everyone is going finding where are the 5 leaves, 5 patta, 5 patti, and wherever they see this is my plant, and they are rubbing it and सूंघ रहे हैं. क्या हो गया? सबके सब खुश afterwards. Uncaused bliss. So here Niruddha Mana. I was telling you about Pratyahar, yeah. So, no, but before that, after that I said Pratyahar also brings about Niruddha Mana, and therefore what does Ashtanga Yoga say after Pratyahar? Does it say empty mind, this is the ultimate? Does it say that? What does it say? Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi. It says don't leave your mind empty. Introduce that empty, in that empty mind, introduce the thought of the divine. किसी Om or Hari Om or Soham or Om Namah Shivaya. Take some mantra and put that entire energy, because there are no thoughts in the mind. Everything has been, your mind has been withdrawn from the world, from the senses, as you said before. It has been withdrawn. Now what should it do? If you don't give it a proper direction, it is going to go back into the world with a vengeance. Badla lega. So you put it into Dharana Dhyan Samadhi. Dharana Dhyan Samadhi is another way of bringing your mind to Ekagrata. Ekagrata means single pointedness of mind. Another way of putting it is focused mind, concentrated mind. If you want to put in another way, from many thoughts you come to one thought. From many thoughts, consciously, not unconsciously. Consciously, from many thoughts, you come to one thought. And that thought quality should be such that it should die its own death. The thought must die its own death. And when will that happen? Only when that thought is subjective in nature. Then it will, that death is called dissolution. Just like every night the waker dies his own death to enter sleep, isn't it? The dream dies his own death every day. Next day he's got a new body. Does the waker have a new body every day? Hey, क्या योगा पढ़ा है फिर? Every day you have a new body. You are living in a imaginary world, is the same body from yesterday. It cannot be possible. Impossible. Because in 10 hours so many things have changed. So many things have changed. You cannot be the same person. But ego makes you believe, or makes itself believe, that I am the same person. So what is doing? It is using the continuity of the spirit and superimposing it on the body and saying I am the same body. वो अलग बात है. Leave it. We'll talk about it another time. So what did we say? Chitta vritti nirodha iti yoga. So we have to find some way to empty the mind. Very easy one. Bang your head against the wall. For a few seconds you will have empty mind. One lady used to be, one brahmacharini, she used to sit in front, the moment she gets up in the morning, she will open her eyes, look at the wall in the darkness and keep looking at it. After some time, mind becomes empty. With regular practice. Pratyahar is another way. So, whichever means, a very tamasic way, you have seen the aghoris and the tantrics, they are using mas, machli, maithunam, etc., to bring their mind, to make the mind niruddha. Aghoris and the yogis and the Naga Babas, they take the drugs and the alcohol, or the tantrics, they take the alcohol to make the mind become niruddha, means become zero. You said, or some of you said, that by pranayam we can bring it. By kumbhak, if we focus between the in-breath and the out-breath, where the in-breath ends, pranabandhanat leena manasam. Ramana Maharishi says, pranabandhanat leena manasam. So, if you are doing pranayam every day, bring your attention to the point where the in-breath is concluding and the out-breath is beginning, or out-breath is concluding and in-breath is beginning. If you can catch that point, initially it will trick you, but as you become calmer and calmer and calmer, you will be able to catch it. The moment you catch it, niruddha, bhumi. Niruddha bhumi means niruddha condition of the mind is automatically comes. Now what do? Here it is not told. I gave you an option that in Ashtanga Yoga it says Dharana Dhyan Samadhi. In Patanjali Yoga Sutra, what you said, the third verse, third sutra, what does it say? Tada drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam. Tada, then. Drashtuhu, look. Swarupe, your own essential nature. Avasthanam, and sit there. That is your true nature. So when you are in when the mind is empty, now here he is not saying that start a japa, start on Om. He is saying when the mind is empty, find out in whose presence this empty mind is expressing itself. If you say, I don't know who is there, close all the curtains, close all the light. There is pitch darkness in the room. You can't see anything. You can't see even your contour of your body. You can't, if you put your hands in front, you can't see your fingers also. Are you absent when you can't see anything? Try, experiment करो अपने साथ. जब तक नहीं करोगे तब तक पता नहीं चलेगा. So even in pitch darkness, this we had experience. When you go to Kailash, many places, when we go to 17,300 feet, Dolmala Pass, there is no artificial light there. No artificial light. Pitch dark. All you are walking, but you can't see your legs, you can't see your hands, you can feel, but you can't see. It's so dark. See? So tada drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam, in that empty mind, in that niruddha mana, which is not attracted or distracted by anything, any objectivity. Objectivity also means not only the world but also the thoughts. No thoughts. Thoughts are always about some objects. So no thoughts. After that, don't say, oh, there is nothing. I am only experiencing void. Many people say that, isn't it? There is nothing, there is emptiness. अरे भैया, emptiness करके कोई चीज ही नहीं है. Is nothingness an object to be perceived? So here the scripture of Patanjali Yoga Sutra is straight away bringing us to our essence, in whose presence is the absence expressing itself. So before there was thought, now there is no thought. So you know, what do you know? That there was presence of thought and now there is absence of thought. There was experience of thought before, now there is absence of that experience. Bring your attention to the one who knows. Tada drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam. And here concludes the Kevala. Once you come to this point in the correct manner, as we have explained or Patanjali ji has explained, your journey is complete. You don't need to balefy the papad for the next 570 verses, sutras. Oh, thank God. But we are we. अपनी पूंछ टेढ़ी की टेढ़ी रहेगी. क्लिक नहीं हुआ. I understood what you said, sir. But I'm not going to go over sutra by sutra. I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview. So he says, oh, but I did not understand what you say. So he explains him the 5 conditions of the mind. He says, yeah, I understand, but ekagra chit is very difficult. I can't understand how to do it. Is there another way? Is that for me? Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So we can't be in this statement, we get thirsty also.
ले लो. Yo.
No, no.
That's denying the physical existence.
Huh?
But till you exist, you exist.
So thereafter, the student says, it is in Bhagavad Gita also, the same theme is used. First, Arjuna wants to know the highest good. Nishrayasyat nishchitam bruhitan me shishyastayam shadimam tam prapannam. He says, tell me the highest good. Krishna Bhagavan gives him the highest good. Sara bouncer chala jata hai. Then Krishna Bhagavan comes down to his level. Karmanyeva adhikaras chal bhai. Kaam kar, phal ki ichha mat kar. And slowly over the 18 chapters, he brings his consciousness higher. Same way it is happening in Patanjali Yoga Sutra also. ठीक है, discussion इतना नहीं चाहिए. So here also, in the first 3 sutras, story is over. But the student bouncer. Because he does not understand how to bring Niruddha Bhumi. Yeah. And if Niruddha Bhumi is taking place, he says, oh, but there is nothing to hold on to when the mind is empty. How do I bring Tadadrashtuhu? There is no thought. And if I am thinking, then if the thought is, I have to think about myself, then I need a medium of thought to think about myself. And you are saying, Niruddha Bhumi honi chahiye. And he gets confused. And for that, then this teacher says, acha, theek hai, I understood. He says, is there any way that I can, if I can't understand the Swarupe Avasthanam, is there another way? I'm missing some verses sutras in between. He says, yeah. If you can't do that, you do Ishwar Pranidhana Dua. Yeah, you think about Ishwara. So first the teacher was giving him a direct way, now he is giving a roundabout way. Objective approach he is giving him now. First it was subjective approach, now he is giving objective approach. He says Ishwar. Who is Ishwar? Nirgun Nirakar. Kaise hai? Nirgun Nirakar. How do I think about him? Again, see, students always have not curiosity. Creatively they get confused. Creatively. So he says, Ishwar, yeah, I never come across Ishwar. How do I remember Ishwar? You give me an answer, okay, you don't think about Swarupa Avasthanam, you think about Ishwar. How do I think? Who is this Ishwar? Oh, Ishwar, he is the Upadan and the Nimitta Karan, he is the material and he is the creator and the material of the whole creation. Oh, but I don't know, I never experienced him. How do I connect with him? Then again the Patanjali Maharaj comes down one level. He says, okay, chant Om. But student is still creative. But when I chant Om, mind goes here, mind goes there, mind goes there. How do I keep my mind on Om? And then the whole process is explained to him. And slowly, the student becomes, the knowledge is getting watered down. Our scriptures never leave anyone without any support. The worst of the worst person, if he wants to turn towards spirituality, he is given a way. Like our Ratnakar Daku, your dacoit. he said to Narad Muni, I have never taken the name of the Lord. So that Narad Muni, he said, no problem. What do you know? He said, I know how to kill. He said, okay, chant mara 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 mara. शुरू किससे किया था? मरा, मार, यानी kill. And it turned into Ram, and he became Valmiki Rishi. He became Valmiki Rishi, who wrote Valmiki Ramayana. So that transformation is possible in everyone. Angulimal, you remember one of the great devotees of Buddha? He had collected, he was also a Brahmin, but he was done the wrong by the king, Bimbisar. And he was moving around. Any passerby used to cut the thumb and hang it around. One more was left, 108th. He found Buddha. He knew it was wrong, but it was to trouble the king Bimbisar. But in heart, Angulimal was a good man. And that's when some masters like this come into their life. So he lifted his sword or axe or whatever to kill or to cut. The hand did not come down. You know all that story. And he said, and he became the greatest disciple of, one of the greatest disciples of Mahatma Buddha. So like this, our scriptures do not leave anyone by the wayside. If you are keen, wherever you are, you can chart a path back to yourself. That charting of the path back to yourself doesn't mean that you have to change anything. Namdev Maharaj, you heard of Namdev Maharaj, some of you? He was called by Jnaneshwar Maharaj, Nivrittinath, Jnaneshwar Maharaj, Sopandev, Muktabai, these were the four brothers, sisters, and Gora Kumbhar, Kano Patra, and many other Mahatmas in that particular time was such. So many masters were there together. And all of them went to Alandi, to Jnaneshwar Maharaj's place. And they said, Azoba, Grandpa, because Namdev Maharaj was a grandpa. For them, they were young fellows. Oh, grandpa, you have to come with us. He says, kahan in bachon ke saath main jaunga. But anyway, under the pressure, he left his place and came to Alandi. And they played a game. They are discussing. Namdev Maharaj is feeling out of place. He wants Vithala, Pandharpur, Vithala. He sings bhajan. If anyone has a problem, he calls the Lord. Lord comes and heals them, gives them money, fixes their eye, fixes their polio, fixes their anything, whatever he wants, demands. He doesn't want anything for himself. But for others, he will call the Lord. Lord will come and fix whatever the problem. But here they are talking about knowledge. He has got no idea. He has only done bhajan. He has got no understanding. And then all these kids and the young saints, they all play a game. Let's see who is a cooked pot and who is an uncooked pot. So they tell Gora Kumbhar, you are a potter. You go around every head. And he takes a danda and he goes, pakka ghada. Means from the sound, he says, it is a cooked pot. Tang, cooked pot. Tang, cook. Everyone is a cook pot. Now, grandfather was standing under a tree far away from this group. So Muktabai said, oh, we missed him. Azoba. So they went to Azoba. Tang, uncooked pot. And he didn't say, Gora Kumbhar just said uncooked pot. But Muktabai got excited. She was young. Oh, Azoba is uncooked pot. And she started laughing. And he felt very insulted. And there and then he ran back to Pandharpur. Didn't stop. No eating, no break. He was disturbed from within. How come when Lord Vithala listens to me, I am an uncooked pot? He knew something is amiss. And he comes. And that time Visoba Maharaj, all these young fellows, they send Visoba Maharaj, go after him and see if he doesn't commit suicide or falls down or he's so excited and so disturbed that keep an eye on him. and he reaches Pandharpur, and in front of Lord Vithala, he says, "Oh Lord, they just declared I am a uncooked pot. Where am I going wrong?" He had the wisdom to ask that question. Please give me an answer. And Vittal statue is there. He did not say anything. He turned around, he saw Visoba Maharaj. He says, "You are the first one after I asked the question. You tell me, what should I do? Where am I going wrong?" He said, "You go to this village, you'll find someone, he will give you the answer." He went there. Whom did he find? A butcher. And he is cutting meat. Ram, 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 Ram. He realized, master. The moment he went to that shop, "Arey Bapre, I have to come to this. I have never even eaten meat. I have never seen a butcher. But I have to go to this. But Visoba Maharaj has said, Vittal Baba has told me to come this way, so I have to go and ask." And the moment he entered into the shop, the butcher, he says, "Oh, Visoba has come. You went to there and they told you that you are an uncooked pot." He knew everything about him. He says, "But I am not your teacher. You go on this mountain. And on this mountain there is a Shiva Mandir. There you will get your answer." He goes there. And when he goes to the temple, dilapidated, unused temple, and he goes inside, they say that it was Trailanga Swami that time. Trailanga Swami was lying with his feet on the Shivling. Feet on the Shivling. हाँ, तुमको भी. So he is putting his feet on the Shivling. The moment he entered into the temple, he says, "Hey, you, don't you understand? This is Shivling, it is God. You have to remove the feet from there." He says, "I am an old man, I am a sick man, I can't even lift my legs. Someone kept it there, you remove my legs." In that moment of, how can someone keep, जैसे अभी तुम सोच रहे थे, how can you keep feet on the Shivling? He lifted his leg and went to put it on the other side. The Shivlinga shifted and came again under his feet. And he tried this 3-4 times. Suddenly, the cracked pot became a cooked pot. Suddenly the knowledge dawned. See? So never, ever study the scriptures on your own. Scriptures must be studied under a teacher. Behind us, there is a whole lineage. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. So from Shankaracharya, before that Lord Shiva himself gave that knowledge to Parvati, then he himself incarnated as Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya wrote all the bhashya of the various Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, composed so many things. Then so many Shankaracharyas have come, that same knowledge has passed on, and eventually it has come to us from our teacher. And from us it is then getting communicated to others. So all that backing is there, which a person, if he tries to study the scripture by himself or herself, like many people, they want to study Sanskrit. Why? I want to study the Bhagavad Gita purely, just as I know it. You can never. So if a wife is sitting, what Bhagavad Gita she is going to read? Continues thinking, यार अभी तक पतिदेव वापस नहीं आए, आजकल पति इतना शांत क्यों है जब से मैंने भगवद गीता शुरू कर लिया है. So wife is thinking about the husband, or the woman is thinking about the husband, taking on the role of a wife and studying Bhagavad Gita. You will never get the right interpretation. It will never reveal. You have to be empty. Yes, it is possible. If you want to study, there are many masters who have never had teacher. Ramana Maharshi did not have a teacher. Nim Karoli Baba did not have a teacher. Meher Baba did not have a teacher. Shirdi Sai Baba did not have a teacher.
Pure mystic.
Satya Sai Baba did not have a teacher. So how did they come to know? They must have followed something like this. They became empty. And when you become empty, there is only one possibility. The infinite consciousness, the infinite spirit uses this empty mind to express itself. And that very moment, a saint is born. That possibility is in you, in you, in you, in every one of us. But important thing is, we have to become empty. Give up all roles. See, I'll give you another way of looking at it. You are a waker, right? You are a dreamer, you are a sleeper, you are a seer, you are a hearer, you are a taster, you are a feeler, you are a thinker. What is common in all this?
Jnana Mudra.
You.
The senses, the absorption through senses.
You.
Perception.
In the word waker, dreamer, sleeper, seer, thinker, talker,
Action.
ER is common. ER is common. ER is the error. ER is the error. So waker is the erroneous personality. Dreamer is an erroneous personality. Waker, seer, hearer, toucher, feeler, taster, thinker, intellectualizer, experiencer, knower, all these are erroneous roles that you are playing. Then who are you? Remove all these roles. How? Chitta vritti nirodha iti yoga. Remove these roles. Don't take any role. Don't accept any role. They have only come because you have accepted. अलग तरीके से देखने की विजन दे रहा हूँ और कुछ नहीं. ये सब इसमें नहीं लिखा हुआ. इसमें लिखा हुआ नहीं है. What I am telling you is not written in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, but I am giving you from my experience and what I have heard from others also. Because I heard from somewhere, I practiced it, and yes. So remove all these erroneous personalities who are problematic, or the earths are problematic. If the vision goes away, the seer says, I can't see. If there is a chala on the tongue, I can't taste. If the waker is having too much difficulties in his life, oh, what is the point? Chalo yaar, so jate hain. He wants to escape from the waking, isn't it? So all problems are for these personalities which you have accepted but are actually not there. So, as we go through this Patanjali Yoga Sutra, chapter 1, you come to the Ishwar Pranidhanadva, then the Om is given. With that Om, then he perfects himself, and perfects himself means he practices it. But he is a creative student. He says, but with Om also I am not able to focus. Forget about Chitta Vritti Nirodha, forget about Tadadrashtuhu, forget about Nirgun Nirakar Ishwar. Now with Om also I am finding it difficult. My mind is still swaying from here to there, it's not holding on to Om. Then begins the second chapter. And what is the second chapter about? Initially it talks about something, but then it comes to Ashtanga Yoga. What is that Ashtanga Yoga? Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi. What do you do Ashtanga Yoga for? What do you want to gain out of Ashtanga Yoga? Samadhi Abhyas, isn't it? You want to go to Kaivalya Samadhi. Everyone wants meditation. But ask them, have you practiced Yama Niyam? Hey, that is not important. I do asana. I do asana. Until unless you don't do yama and niyam, you cannot progress in Ashtanga Yoga. And if you are doing yama niyam to the T, everything else automatically starts happening. What is yama niyama? In short, I know you know all the definitions. In short, yama is living in such a way that you do not disturb the world by a thought, word and deed, nor get disturbed by anyone's thought, word and deed. Live in this manner. That is yama. And niyama, you don't get disturbed by. You don't get disturbed by your own thought, your own words, and your own deed. Meaning, by your own habitual thinking, by your habitual speaking, and by your habitual activities that are taking place. So, live a disciplined life where you are not giving any chance of default settings to set in. When you do these two, automatically asana happens. An inward pull comes. Whether you are sitting on a chair, whether you are cross-legged or Padmasana or Siddhasana or Shavasana, it does not matter. Pull. Once the pull comes, you are in meditation. If you are done the two, you are alertly practicing the first two. फिर प्राणायाम करने की भी जरूरत नहीं है. When do you need to do asana? When you have not done the two properly, first two properly. Your ability to do all the asanas flexibly with great ease will be directly proportional to the first two, yama niyam. But remember, who does the asana? A yogi does the asana, isn't it? Who does the pranayam? The I does the pranayam, isn't it? Who does the pratyahar? I did the pratyahar. Who does the dharana? I do dharana. My dharana is so long. So what is going on? The ego is still maintained. The doership is still maintained. The doership is still maintained. And as long as doership is maintained, kevala sthiti will not happen. Absorption will not take place. Understand this basic understanding. So instead of invoking asana, instead of invoking doing pranayam, you do the first two, allow asana to happen, allow pranayam to happen, allow pratyahar to happen. Just like every night when you go to sleep, do you do anything to empty your mind? Automatically all the thoughts from your mind go away, isn't it? Automatically they go away. Did you say, oh, I don't like this thought, I have to take it out. Oh, I have to do some pranayam to go to sleep. You will never sleep all night then. Isn't it? So you don't do anything. Urvarukameva bandhanat mrityor mukshiyama amritat. Automatically the world withdraws itself from the mind, leaves you niruddha. You don't realize it's a doorway to realization, but you fall into sleep. Naturally you have reached niruddha condition. So there are two gateways for you to enter into realization. One when you are going to sleep and when you are waking up. Both the world has not entered. Catch yourself at that time. But uske liye fir satsang chahiye roz ki. To remind you again and again that, I must remain awake when the mind is empty. I must not go to sleep. I want to catch the sleep. I want to catch the sleep, not succumb to the sleep. Play the game of curiosity. What does it mean to catch the sleep? Suddenly you will find yourself with yourself. See? And then you do, फिर उसके बाद धारणा ध्यान समाधि आ जाती है. फिर उसके बाद once the student has understood all this, he has done the Ashtanga Yoga, suppose he has done, then he has still not reached Kevala. His problem is tada drashtu swarupe avasthanam. Sir, I am still missing the jackpot. Why? What has happened? If he had done the first 3 steps, he would have hit the jackpot. Now he is going all the way around. He is making a pathway through the creation, which is the 5 senses, the mind, the intellect, and the total intellect and Ishwara, and then wanting to come to tada drashtu sarubhya. तो उसके बीच में क्या हो जाता है? That 3rd chapter comes. 3rd chapter क्या है? विभूतिपाद. क्या होता है? सिद्धियाँ आनी शुरू हो जाती हैं. He says, but nothing is happening. तो यहाँ पे in our Patanjali Yoga Sutra, certain exercises are given. If you read it, very fascinating. If you can practice 1 or 2, you will see what potential is there. 3 days you focus on the tip of your tongue. 3 days to the exclusion of everything. You focus in the middle of the tongue. What will happen if you focus in the middle of the tongue? Forget it. You think of gulab jamun, you don't have to up your sugar. You think of gulab jamun and the taste of gulab jamun is there. Thepla. We don't have to go and buy. You think, thepla, because you have done the exercise of focusing in the middle of the tongue. You think of some time, 3 days. Siddh ho gaya, think of thepla, the taste of thepla is in your mouth. Without spending the money. I'm not joking. You try. You think of the roof of your mouth, 3 days. See what happens. You think of anyone, you know or you don't know, the person's form will come in front of your eyes. तो ये तो मैं तुमको 1, 2, 3 exercises बता दी. Hundreds of exercises are there. But either you can take them as something to experiment, to show yourself that higher consciousness is possible, that greater potentiality can express through this equipment, through this mind, or you can see it as an obstacle only to experiment 1 or 2 and then put them aside. Some people forget the 4th chapter, they get lost only in the 3rd one. And majority of the people go after people who have this 3rd chapter possibilities. They can manifest anything, they can heal you, they can touch you, and things happen. Ja bachcha, vibhuti le le, bachcha ho jayega. Ho gaya. Baba. So we get lost. For us, that is an attraction. See? Pardon? Raman Maharishi was also like that, but he never showed his siddhis. Never once he showed his siddhis. But if he said something, he used to remain in silence most of the time. But if he said something, it will happen. So one day in Raman Ashram, people used to bring food. Villagers used to give the cartloads of vegetables. उसी दिन खाना बना के ख़त्म. Fridge तो होता नहीं था. Today also they don't have any fridge. So one day so many people were there and there was no food. They went to Raman Ashram. Annamalai Swami, he was his right hand. He says, Swami, no food and so many people are there. He says, wait, let's see. Again after half an hour, this is at early in the morning at 7:30, 8 o'clock. He says, Swami, 11 o'clock we have to give, no food, what to do? No, wait till 10 o'clock. Wait till 10:30. And he didn't say why, what, where, when. At 10:30, 1 cartload of vegetable and rice came, pulled by the bullock carts came. Then Annamalai asked, hey, how come you came at 10:30? He says, I was in my house and I was farming and doing job, and I got a vision that Swami is asking me, bring a cartload of vegetables. And I came. Did he do it? No. But their consciousness is so expanded that whatever is meant to happen starts happening. That's how sometimes if you come across people who say that I saw Satya Sai Baba or Shirdi Sai Baba in my room. Some people come to my classes in Melbourne. But they have never been to Puttaparthi. But Sai Baba has given them darshan. And one day after 15 years, she went to some Parayan in the city. Their Baba's bhajan was going on. And just by chance, she was shopping and she went in. Well, this fellow only comes in my room every day and gives me, and I get scared by him. Because he's looking like that, no? Satya Sai Baba. But from that day, it converted into love for him. Sings wonderful bhajans, white lady. See? So how come she doesn't know him, she has never met him, she has never read any book, she has never seen any photograph? That was after 15 years, first time she saw him. But Baba has given her darshan. Same way of Mahavatar Baba, you have heard of me. Mahavatar Baba ka naam suna hai? Babaji? I had the opportunity to be with his one of his incarnations, Heda Khan Baba. For 3 days I was with him. He appeared only for 17 years in Haldwani. And he told me, Chal, kaha? Badrinath. In 3 days I had only 2 puris yaar. And he's saying, let's go to Badrinath. Chalo mere saath. मेरी आंखों में देख के बोला. मैं कहा यार डैडी को नहीं बोला, मम्मी को नहीं बोला, खाने को नहीं मिलेगा, कपड़े गीले हैं. मैं कहा स्वामी जी नेक्स्ट टाइम आई विल टेल माय मम्मी डैडी एंड देन आई विल कम विद यू. मिस्ड अपॉर्चुनिटी. हाउ ओल्ड आई वाज? 19. निकल जाते उस समय. बट फिर लाइफ टुक how many? 19. That was 1980. It took another 14 years, no, 12 years to again get everything in order to get into the ashram. Not that I wanted to go to ashram, but it all happened that way. See. So, and the last part is the Kaivalya path. So once we have given zero importance to the siddhis, once we have understood siddhis are only potentialities, once we have understood potentialities, the aghoris, etc., they have the bhoot pishach, they control and make siddhis happen. Others are masters of all the gods, they make them do the siddhis for themselves or invoke them. But a true master doesn't get involved in all this. He's totally empty. Like our Raman Maharishi, like our Bhagwan Nityananda Maharaj, like our Ramakrishna Paramahams. You see. And what is this Kevalapad? Kevalapad is nothing but that Tada Drashtuhu Swarupa Avasthanam. Once you land back, now tell me, sitting here right now, you are looking with your eyes towards me. Now with your own eyes, you look at your own eyes. Try. With your eyes, try to look at your own eyes without closing them. See what happens. Tell me your experience. What happens? या तो कुछ किया ही नहीं होगा.
We are trying to focus, but
Tend to close.
No, you keep your eyes open, and instead of looking out there, you come to the eyeballs themselves. Try to see the eyeballs themselves. See what happens.
Heaviness.
सर दर्द हो सकता है, but if you do it gently, practice every day, you know what will happen? Everything will, all the forms and colors, that is the variety of this world, will become dark. Everything will vanish. थोड़ी देर के लिए ट्राई करके देखो. अब इन्वोक मत करना darkness. It will automatically melt away. All the forms merge into each other. And
We
there,
can do it this in front of mirror also. also, right?
No.
We should know. What there is a difference because when we do this in front of a mirror, a lot of times you look back at your own eyes. It's
उसको बोलते हैं त्राटक,
in
उसको
the,
त्राटक
in
बोलते
the
हैं,
mirror, yeah.
उसको त्राटक बोलते हैं.
Okay.
And you will not like what you see.
Yeah. It is a lot of it is a lot of revelation. It's a very tough exercise.
It is very tough.
It is
So,
very
so you should do that only under guidance, because at that moment, lot of subconscious hidden impressions, they start erupting. If you are not focused on the conscious principle, then that starts happening. So जरा carefully. You can सटक जाती है, समझते हैं सटकना?
जी.
हाँ, सटक जाती है.
You have to finish
So-
your shadow work too before doing that.
Okay, up to you. So Kevala Pad is coming to Stada Drashtuhu Swarupe Avasthanam. And that Kevala is one without a second. And that Kevala is supporting everything that you are. It supports what? What is your creation? Tell me one thing, if you know this. What is your experience of creation? How do you put the creation in a nutshell? Tell me. You're living in a creation, right?
Yeah.
You are living in a creation. Srishti, Jagat. What is your experience of the Jagat? Okay. It is waking world plus dream world plus the absence of the two is equal to your total creation every day, isn't it? Every day you are awake, there is a world available for you. Every day you dream, there is a world available for you. Every day you sleep, there is no world available for you. This is your complete experience of creation. How much are we living? Only 1/3. Only 1/3. Waking. And in waking also, we are behaving as if we are ghost. ER. Not the real one. Only as ER. See? Zara socho, zara hatke socho. Think out of the box. All these sutras are written, but you have to decipher them. You have to open the secret out of them. Don't take them on face value. So what is that? That if the entire creation is all the three worlds, then why am I living only 1/3 of the creation? Who knows these three? I know these three. Be that. That is the Kevala. Because these three are coming and going every day. But I don't feel I am coming and going every day. Isn't it? That's your experience right now. Head is nodding. You don't feel you are nodding. The head is nodding. Whenever you say about something, the eyes are blinking. You don't say, I am blinking. But even if you say the sentence, I am blinking, it is understood in your mind that my eyes are blinking, isn't it? Spirit doesn't blink. Spirit doesn't speak. Spirit doesn't experience. Spirit doesn't know objectively. But it allows the equipment to function and express its various data as by supporting it. Be that one who is untouched by the body, breath, mind, intellect. Be that one who is untouched by waking, dream, deep sleep, samadhi. Be that one who is untouched by yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, samadhi. Be that one who is untouched by past, present and future. That is Kevala. Forever and ever and ever. It is the one alone, untouched, infinite. Unborn, homogeneous mass of conscious bliss. That is our nature. That is the Kevala Pada. I've just given you sort of overview of the whole thing, that if you want, you can complete your journey in the first 3 sutras, but if you are intelligent, you will elongate it for 570 verses more. Choice is yours. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnahat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Just sit quietly for a moment. If you want to ask something, you can ask, and if I know the answer, I'll answer. Otherwise, I'll say next.
Any questions to be asked to Swamiji? Anyone? Any questions? Or I think there's much more to learn. This was as part of it, but we will have you can keep coming to UAE and we'll have more and more questions. Every month we have Milan, so we can whenever you are coming, just let us know. So we'll have more Milan with you and more lectures.
I have a very small question. Can I ask?
Yeah.
So, out of all these senses, when we are living on our everyday basis, and we are seeing things, we are listening, and of all the 5 senses, the eyes register the most, and it's the eyes and the ear, and then of course the smell. These are the 3 senses which are dominated by the external environment. We can still control what we put in our mouth, what we touch and feel, because that's still our voluntary action. But when we are in an environment, any environment, we are so exposed to the external environment and things happening around us. We keep seeing and registering and so much. And in that moment, how do you, when you said, when you remove your spectacles and you see nothing, so how you become that person that you stay in that environment, but the absorption has to be limited and restricted, because once the absorption of that element is not there, and then the processing of thought will not take place.
That is called pratyahar.
Yeah, so how that, like I am in the environment looking at 100 things, but I can bring my heart back
Stop.
to things.
सुख दुःख समय कृत्वा लाभा लाभो जया जयो ततो युद्धाय युद्धस्व. So in joys and sorrows remain in the center. Don't become joyful or sorrowful. Sukha dukkha, don't become joyful or sorrowful. Sukha dukkha samay krutva labha labho. In gain and loss, when there is gain, don't get excited. When there is loss, don't become depressed. And third set, labha, sukha dukkha samay krutva labha labho jaya jayo. In victory and defeat, again, don't get yes, I won. Oh, goya andar se. You will, life will make you behave in that manner when it comes next. So only human being has a choice. Animals don't have a choice, plants don't have a choice, stones don't have a choice. Human beings have something called intellect. And there you can make a choice. You had a choice to come to this satsang or not to come to this satsang. Tomorrow you will have a choice. We have kept a satsang at the cricket match time. To come to the satsang or to watch the cricket match. Choice. So you choose to be affected by the world or not to be affected by the world. It is your choice.
No,
So
it's not about affecting, but I will rephrase my question. It was just about like, there are so many things happening. Okay?
they're always happening.
Yeah, and the absorption.
I understand.
also-
I understood your thing. Tell me, did you give your year 12 exam or year 10 exam?
Yes.
At that time, how much were you focused for the exam?
Very-
At that time, did you watch your favorite serial? Did you eat? Did you ever worry about when the breakfast is going to come or lunch is going to come, dinner is going? Because you are totally focused. Ekagrachit mana. When you are focused on something higher, the lower becomes immaterial. So if you have given importance to the world, you have to withdraw that value giving and importance giving to the world and shift it to the Atma or shift it to the spirit. Then automatically it will stop having impact on the world. Example, which you do every day, every night you give 100% attention to the sleep when it comes. The world automatically withdraws from your mind, isn't it? It doesn't become a problem. Do that while living. While waking also you can do it. But you have to develop that knack. Living in this world, yet not being of this world. भगवत गीता कहती है जब दुनिया जागती है तो योगी सोता है, जब दुनिया सोती है तो योगी जागता है. यही मतलब है. समझ गए?
Dhanyavad Swamiji for such a beautiful insight about starting from Patanjali Yoga Sutra, but we went into so many of the Sadhu Mahatma, with some of stories we were not aware of,
Yeah.
and it was really wonderful to know about all the things, And we would like to give a small memento from ARIC, that is Arab Regional Yoga Institute Conference. So I will invite Subhashji to. No, not that one.
Okay.
Yeah. This is coming in between. You can see?
Camera? Oh, sorry.